Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Room. We have a great show for you today. In the studio today is Robert Anderson, and I'm Ivan, coming to you from the very liberal hellhole of Brooklyn, New York. Today we're going to be covering a couple of topics. The first one we're covering is going to be Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala Harris. We're going to be talking about the Republican freakout that has happened basically right after this happened. And then the second thing we're going to be talking about is the Pope says that we should choose the lesser of two evils. So we're going to run down a little bit of Catholic history on this one. So if you're Catholic, you might not want to listen to this episode. The third thing that we're going to be talking about is Laura Loomer's weird relationship with Donald Trump. We're not entirely sure what's going on there, but, you know, we can only speculate. We'll let you decide. We'll show you the evidence, let you decide what you think about it. And the fourth thing we're going to be talking about is the post-debate. Republicans are pretty much on the offensive right now. They're trying to grasp at any straw they can in order to make Donald Trump seem like a much more normal candidate than he appeared on the debate stage last week. So interesting stuff there.
Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, garnering a lot of support. Over 400,000 new voters were registered to vote from her Instagram post alone, which is pretty damn impressive. But if we also look at it, she was just describing, hey, do your own research, pick for the candidate of your choosing. And this has MAGA rattled right now. So much so that a lot of people who claim to be Taylor Swift fans, which is kind of surprising knowing that she's always been a Democrat, that she's always essentially leaned towards the left. She even expressed her disdain for Trump back in the 2016 election. So I don't know how this is a surprise to some people in that group, MAGA and Taylor Swift, but they're not taking it too well.
I'm allowed to criticize Taylor Swift, and I don't give a who gets upset. This is disgusting. If she wants to vote Harris Walz, she can do it all she wants. But to say the reason she's doing it is because of Tim Walz's stance on LGBTQ, F you, Taylor Swift, and F all of the people who want to see these children have body parts chopped off and watch them sterilized under the age of consent, and then will ride off to their multi-gazillion-dollar mansions, never to think of them again.
Yeah, and so we could see some fake outrage there from Megyn Kelly. I mean, her acting chops are just not up to par as when she was on Fox News. I mean, it's got to be this online format. It's just not really doing it her justice. But essentially, they have this hypocrisy where they can go and suck off Hulk Hogan and Kid Rock, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes out in support of conservative values. They're saying, yes, great, we love this, get on our side. But when people like Taylor Swift come out and endorse the opposition, it becomes a big issue in terms of their character. Same thing with LeBron James. Well, What was that famous quote that they said?
Shut up and dribble.
Shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
And now when you have on the opposite side, they're all for it, whatever. Hulk Hogan can say some racist shit. He can peddle and scam a beer. Like, you know, they get Amber Rose of all people, and they're saying that's a win for them because it's going to appeal to the black vote. Nobody gives a fuck about Amber Rose. All right, let's be real. She hasn't mattered since when? Like, she came out in 2002 in like Love and Hip Hop, I believe. I believe she was on that dating I believe she was in like one of the dating shows like earlier on in her career before she began dating Kanye West.
Yeah.
And then when she dated Kanye West,
that just shows how little we
really
know about her.
Yeah, it's like she does not speak for the youth vote, nor is she garnering any sort of support politically. People don't look to Amber Rose for political advice. But when you get a mega star like Taylor Swift, who is increasing the local economy of wherever she is having a concert, that is something to pay attention to, because she has a ravenous fan base, a fan base that will do whatever she says, pretty equivalent to the MAGA folks. And listen, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. But when we have this disconnect in terms of, oh, they support us, therefore they're good. Oh, they don't support us. Oh, they're billionaires or musicians or athletes. They're out of touch. We don't get it. The double standard just has to stop. There's going to be celebrity endorsements on both sides, but to just come out and have this completely flipped and biased interpretation of this endorsement. Plus, at the end of the day, she is not even going out there being like, hey, you need to vote for Kamala Harris. She's just telling people that they need to be registered to vote because it is their American right to have a vote. And to do your own research, which I think is pretty damn responsible of her in order. And when speaking to these younger audiences, when speaking to these new voters, essentially, that hey, get out there, do your research. She did hers, and that's who she ended up deciding on.
Yeah, I think, like Rob said, this has been going on for a long time. This, like, celebrities' endorsement of political candidates is nothing new. This has been going on around for forever. Ever since I've been involved in politics, I've seen this, right? So the really good example, when I was in what was it, third grade, Steve Nash, from famous basketball player, he endorsed. He talked a lot of. He was like very political at the time, and he was an American citizen. I think he was Australian born, but he was really involved in politics around the Iraq War. And one of the famous comments, and that's really where the "shut up and dribble" thing came from. So it's been going on for a while. I think the difference between Democrats and Republicans is that Democrats have fully embraced the fact that this is how politics works. Like, you have to, I mean, at some point you have to expect that your camp is going to be wide enough that's going to include celebrities as well, and you want to use celebrity influence in order to get the vote out, especially considering that a lot of American politics nowadays is really just apolitical. People aren't really that motivated to vote, so you use celebrities and these sort of talking points in order to get people encouraged to vote, and that's, I think, the point of it. Republicans are always on this pedestal where, like, they act like they're above this, right?
Yeah.
But they're really not. Like you said, I mean, the only difference between the two is that Democrats have accepted it and Republicans haven't, and it's very clear the way that they talk about it. They fully grasp onto people that support their side, and it's like people that have already lost relevancy, like comedian Rob Schneider and Amber Rose, which Amber Rose doesn't even talk for like the OF people, right? Like the people that are in that industry, like, don't even listen to what she has to say, even though she is part of the industry. It's just like, these are just people that have some influence, and they want to use a little bit of influence, but at the same time pretend like they don't have nothing. Kid Rock, another good example. Like, we know of these celebrities because they were famous at one point, but they're no longer part of the status quo. They're no longer part of what's relevant.
Lil Pump.
Yeah, I mean, Lil Pump, like, it's just a long list of D-list celebrities that support Republicans, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But I think at the end of the day, we have to be honest about what politics is and what side has more motivation. Right now, it seems like the Democrats have a lot more motivation to vote than the Republicans, and I think truly the reason why Republicans are so upset about this in reality is because, like I said before, a lot of politics is apolitical. You talk to random people on the street, they might not be as motivated to follow what's going on in the political scene, so they might not necessarily be motivated to go out and vote. Taylor Swift is going to make people go out and vote. That's why they're so upset about this. Taylor Swift is going to move the needle a lot more for Kamala Harris than anybody else is for Trump, and is actually going to get people to go out and vote. So.
Yep, and then also we're just seeing a bunch of these Taylor Swift fans who reported Taylor Swift fans are so in shock that she's in part of the she's not a part of the MAGA movement, which is, I guess, pretty surprising to them. But we could see them taken to the streets in rage.
Taylor Swift just endorsed Kamala Harris, and I'm done. I don't want to be a childish cat lady like her. If you really love the cats, you wouldn't let the migrants eat them as pets. That's why I'm replacing all my stuff with end the wokeness stuff.
It's interesting that a big criticism on the right in 2016 was how much identity politics and virtue signaling was a huge part of Hillary's platform. And it's, like I said before, there's been a couple instances where, like, the right has now taken a lot of these things and kind of co-opted them into their movement. This is literally full-on virtue signaling. This is full-on identity politics. I don't want to be a childless cat lady. These sort of like dog whistles is the entire Republican Party nowadays. And again, Democrats to some degree embrace it. I think now, we're starting to see a little bit of a counterculture towards it, but Republicans try to act like they're not above this, and this is all their policies are.
It's true. And what we're seeing here is, this is just faux outrage, more faux outrage. Megyn Kelly, this person, just to get likes and to, be welcomed by the other side. But like, no fan of Taylor Swift. And like I said, I don't even know that much about her, but I do know one thing is that she's been primarily Democrat or left leaning, or, like, her brand is about inclusivity and caring about others and stuff like that. And that just doesn't fit with the MAGA party. They should have seen this coming when they're talking about, like, hey, we got to get the immigrants out. We, even people who are here legally, or the rhetoric, or the misogyny. Or do you honestly think that she was going to side with you like that? That is what blows my mind. Also, to like even be associated with somebody like Donald Trump, who is held liable for sexual assault, it's definitely not something that would bode well for her brand, and also goes against everything that she has been preaching or has been promoting within her music.
Right, and this endorsement comes at the tail end of Donald Trump pretending like that's Taylor Swift that endorsed him. Taylor Swift was like, made into an AI image, and she was made to look like she was supporting Donald Trump, and you had like all like this like Swifties for Trump movement and stuff like that. So they knew that this is a needle mover. They know that how like the impact of the Taylor Swift voices, and this comes at the tail end of Donald Trump like literally using her image to obtain votes. Like that's the worst part about it. Is like, yeah, at that point you forced her hand. She could have remained silent on this if Donald Trump had just shut the fuck up and not publicly reposted false information about Taylor Swift.
So Elon Musk also had a very negative reaction to this endorsement, saying, "Fine, Taylor, you win. I will give you a child and guard your cats with my life." This sounds like a threat.
Yeah.
All right. So that's scary. And also a really gross comment to be making. This is one of the richest men in the world, if not the richest man in the world at the current moment. And saying this about in retaliation to a megastar endorsing Kamala Harris. What a bizarre tweet to make and then go about his day and act like nothing happened. I feel like some sort of repercussions need to come from this.
Yeah. Also, this is what Elon Musk
God.
looks like. And
Built like a Roblox character.
Taylor Swift's boyfriend is a NFL tight end. So not really the person that I would want to anger by any means, right?
Yeah, I feel like Travis Kelce is the kind of guy to be like, listen, I don't care if you're one of the most powerful men in the world, I'd still beat your ass.
Yeah, that's probably not somebody that I would want to mess with. And I don't even like the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I'm a Rams fan. I still would probably in public. I probably would not say anything rude to Travis Kelce. Yeah, it's very creepy for sure. But yeah, Taylor Swift had to. I think she had her hand forced. She had to talk. She didn't want to be associated with the Trump movement. I think is really, and she probably does care about some of the issues that Kamala Harris is running on. So yeah, like nothing new. Like Rob said, she endorsed Biden in 2020. She probably endorsed Hillary in 2016, I'm assuming. I don't know. I'd have to double check that. But no surprise from this. And I think that this is just full outrage.